Nuclear weapons are not someone else's problem. Their destructive power is so vast that its effects won't stop at national borders. Human beings will be the target, and cities will be annihilated. Humanitarian relief organizations admit that there is little they could do to help the survivors of a nuclear detonation. Nuclear weapons continue to be a global humanitarian threat. They require a united global response. Injustice is never someone else's problem. That's what Nelson Mandela understood as he suffered in prison for all those years. A society needs to be based on inclusion and human rights, not divided by the color of one's skin.
Our task, of course, is not an easy one, but nor was ending apartheid in South Africa. Through perseverance, conviction, and determination, we defeated the forces of injustice and hatred. We won because we stood on the right side of history. We stood for a just and moral cause. And you too stand on the right side of history.
Change does not happen overnight. It is a long road that needs vision, courage, and commitment. But change needs a starting point. A moment of truth when we rise up and demand what is long overdue. That's what feminists in many countries did by campaigning for women's right to vote. By claiming their rights, those women rejected the status quo and called it for what it was: oppression. Progress often means changing the rules. It was outrage about the effects of anti-personnel landmines that fueled the work of the International campaign to ban landmines. Hundreds of thousands of civilians were killed or maimed by these indiscriminate weapons. Cities, villages, and farmland became battlefields, and fear walked with every man, woman, and child wherever landmines had been used.
Within 5 years, we took an issue that nobody was talking about and achieved a ban. And what was so important about our work then was that we took a weapon that had been in use for generations and we changed the framework of discussion. We turned it into an issue of humanitarian disarmament. When we were really excited and celebrating the successful negotiation of the Mine Ban Treaty, and then in Ottawa, Canada in December of '97, 122 countries coming together in 2 days to join that treaty, we were often kind of assaulted, if you will, by the media, saying the US isn't there, Russia isn't there, China isn't there. Doesn't that make your treaty irrelevant? And our response was, of course not. How can you say that 122 nations signing a treaty is irrelevant?
More and more nations are facing up to the horrifying evidence of what nuclear bombs actually do. Governments and civil society are shaking off years of complacency and changing the game. We are calling nuclear weapons for what they really are: inhumane, useless, and unacceptable. Now, we need to have the courage to take the next step and develop a treaty that makes nuclear weapons illegal. We are closer than you might think, and we will pursue this treaty, even if the nuclear-armed countries oppose it. We will have the courage to ask every political leader in the world, are nuclear weapons acceptable or are they not? We are confident that the vast majority will agree that they should be outlawed and will work with us towards a ban. Every generation has a chance to change the world. This is the generation that will ban nuclear weapons forever.